you can pass it. Whether it's your own size.
Sunil sir, we'll be starting now.
Hi.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Just give me a moment, sir. Just a brief introduction about it. Good morning to all the participants. Welcome to the session 2 of day 3 EICT sponsored phase 2 STTP program. With the kind consent of our convener, we are starting our session for today. And our speaker for this session is Mr. Sunil Jose. He is a managing partner at Hydroblooms, and he comes from a financial technological background, and he's currently a tech farmer. He's an alumnus of IIM Bangalore. He's also a keynote speaker on TEDx, a social change in farmers, drought, famine, and suicide. Here he is bringing green back to the world on a long-term sustainable ecosystem. Having keenly observed scientists and researchers being toiling from time immemorial to find alternative farming and gardening technique to help farmers and parallelly develop economic ways of crop cultivation. Sunil Jose dwells into one of these techniques, which is hydroponics, a science of growing plants without soil, and also explore how living in a world with lesser pollution and more greenery can be made possible. Sir, on behalf of the management, the principal, the HOD, staffs and students at the Oxford College of Engineering, Department of Biotechnology, we deem it a pleasure in having you as our guest speaker for today, sir. So it's a welcome to the session, sir. And it's over to you, sir, to start with the session.
Remember this.
Sir?
And so many clicks on that.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Salma, I missed some part of your conversation. A great morning to you all.
Sir, you can start the session, sir.
I can start. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Sunil here. There's some issue with my camera. I'm trying to turn it on. Can you see me?
We couldn't see you, sir. It's fine, sir. Can you just switch, put it on slideshow, sir?
I can get into a slideshow. Hi. Okay. Mr. BK, how long do I have on this particular session? It's 11:44.
Yes, sir. You can extend up to 12:15, 12:30. No issue.
Okay, so what I will do is, guys, I will present this for half an hour and for another 10 to some sort of an interactive session. BK?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Sir, can you hear us?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm just starting off.
Yes, sir.
This is our company. It's called Hydrobloom. Started as a social venture and then moved into the commercial side. Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you please put it on slideshow, sir?
It is on slideshow. Can you see it?
No, sir. It is now. It is on slideshow. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we started this as a social venture. We seeing farmers' suicide and famine. We did a small study on farmers' suicide and how to create a sustainable ecosystem in terms of economy for these guys to actually start earning by themselves in these harsh conditions. And that's how hydroponics started off. I will just run through these slides. I won't really dwell on the slides. I would talk more on case studies, what we have had across the globe, which would make sense. I would share the slide to all of you so that you'll understand some basics about hydroponics. I know many of you all understand or know about hydroponics. This is just from my perspective of how we perceive this. I'm an evangelist. I preach and practice on hydroponics more to create an awareness across the country. We do several programs on this particular part. In 2017, we started on the commercial venture where we have a small manufacturing unit in Kolhapur, where my partner does the manufacturing part of it. That's the base of how Hydrobloom has started. Hydrobloom, the logo, as you see, is a drop, a single drop of water, which would then transform into a green. And that's how our vision is in terms of a sustainable green progress. As I said, started off as a global warming. Since there's a short of time, I would like you to watch my TED video where we have a case study on a small town in Penaconda where we have actually got to know how the hardships were and how we actually transformed that small place. Some basics for people who are new to hydroponics. There's no soil required in hydroponics. The water stays in the system and it is reused. We can control nutritional levels. There's no nutritional pollution released in the environment. Stable and high yields. Pest diseases are easier to get rid of. Ease of harvesting, no pesticide damage, and the plants grow healthier. There are two schools of thought going on this, whether we would like to have hydroponics as a part of organic or keep it as a different genre altogether. There are courtroom wars fought on this across the globe. But again, I'm on the side where hydroponics should be a completely different genre altogether and not a subset of organics, because in organics, we still have a lot of unknowns. In hydroponics, we know what exactly we grow on. So there are two schools of thought. There are people who disagree on this particular path. So we can take it. Hydroponics, 5 simple facts of what hydroponics are. It requires 90% less water. 1/4 the space required. Here I put 1/4. We have even done 1/16 the time where we have done it on LED lights, where 16 layers of plants are actually grown on a hanger, on an industrial hanger. Absolutely no soil used, but we also work on coco peat. We work on clay balls. We work on steel wool. We work on water through NFT systems. Faster growth time. Faster growth time is in an what we call it as the germination and the growing is on 2 different platforms. That is the only way we are doing faster growth, right? Otherwise, it's still the same time a plant requires to actually grow. Absolutely no chemicals used. We work on vegetative waste. We work on NPK, the natural salts. We also work on, I closely work on ocean bed, nutrients found on ocean beds. So we specialize on that particular part. Every other country is started in a very big way. India is still yet to scratch the surface. We are not really producing well. There are the cons on this. The capex is high. I will stress on this a little later. But the yields are much higher. Forbes magazine has ranked this as the next business idea for the next 3 decades. So certainly there is a huge talk across the globe, or in fact, it started off in India. People are talking at least on hydroponics. And there are a few big companies who have done quite a lot of good work on this particular path. I will stress on IoT because I saw a part of this particular program on IoT. We will talk about data collection on predictive analysis, AI and ML. It's as a market, it's still a virgin market. We have huge potential in the wellness market. I will touch upon the case studies on this particular path. Hydrobloom as a company, we had successes and failures on this. We had done hydroponics for the MG road. This is regarding the pollution on the crossroads of Brigade Road and MG Road, where we wanted to actually showcase a harmful chemical called xylene, which emits out of vehicle pollution. And this was not by us through the NASA Clean Air study. There are plants which actually absorb this and give out fresh oxygen. So we had proved it, but through the bureaucratic hurdles, we could not take it further. But our cases have been proven in Pune, in Kerala and Calcutta. I'm presently doing some projects in Bangladesh and Kazakhstan too. So this is one of the reason. This was again taken from the leaf of the Mexican towers. I'd actually got this particular inspiration from there, and then met the NASA guys on the NASA Clean Air plants, where we had some particular part in terms of absorption of a powerful hazardous chemical called xylene, where these plants absorb and then give out fresh oxygen. We have done in many corporates, IBM, Microsoft, most of these places where it comes as a KRA for these guys to actually grow plants on a holistic way. I've also done in schools where children actually are given plants to grow from the age of from the first standard to around 8th standard, and go through the whole cycle. In a holistic manner. This teaches them some sort of a patience, TLC, tender loving care in terms of their mental stability. So it sees theoretically, but we have also proven in the schools where we have actually done this. And some sort of a grace marks given to the languages, to the subjects which they've been performing poorly, for them to get an inspiration to get into gardening and farming. This is under LED lights. This is where we are talking about 16. We have gone up to 16. There are people who have gone up to 18 and 24. On the right side is an IoT based. I work very closely in terms of data collection. We work very closely with IIT Guwahati and IIM Bangalore on this particular path, where we talk about predictive analysis through AI and ML, where both shoot growth and root growth is actually measured through girths of plants to get in terms of high yields, in terms of pest controls, in terms of climate controls, in terms of controlling pH, TDS and EC levels. So this is the part which we were, the Watsons, IBM Watsons have been very closely watching our data collection in terms of how they can mitigate that into both high yielding crops and failure of crops, to find out exactly where we stand in understanding plant physiology. And a lot of learnings have come through big data on this particular path. I will stress on all this offline for people who are interested. I will share my mobile number and email ID where you all can actually talk on. These are some of the products which we have actually come on. There on the left is a tower-based model. Then on the lower part is the fodder system, which we have actually done. One small case study of interesting case study of a fodder system which has come in from Channapatna, close to Bangalore, is four founders of this company came up to me and told me that Sunil, we needed a fodder system for around 800 donkeys. and I told them, don't make an ass out of me, literally. And I said, why a fodder system for donkeys? I mean, is it for the meat? Is it for the milk? Is it for the skin? And to my wonder, the donkey's milk is sold as an anti-aging property, rebottled in France and sold it to the Hollywood stars. So this was one interesting case which we have done on the fodder systems for feeding donkeys in our hydroponic fodder systems. These are some of our on the left is a A angle. These are NFT pipes. There are 10 NFT pipes, 5 on each side in a letter A, where roughly around 120 odd plants grow. This is 10 feet by 4 feet. So we are actually occupying 10 times the particular area space in a 40 square feet space, where the yield is approximately between 400 to 600 square feet of actual growth area. Then the tower-based model is on the same principle. We have an 8 planter, 16 planter, 32 planter, and a 64 planter tower-based models. And on the right side is a fodder system, which I've just given you a small example or a case study on. These are some of the other products, which are the same products which are on specifications. These will be shared to you. This is the one which we have actually patented on, on the domestic front, where a family of 4 can actually grow these plants. This is around 72 odd plants being grown on a balcony. I mean, apartment holders can actually keep this, and we can grow 36 on each side. On both the sides, you can grow around 72 odd plants. Imagine putting 72 pots on a balcony. It would fill your entire balcony space. This requires only around 2 feet by 1 feet. It has a 60-liter tank. The whole thing is automated. The 60-liter tank lasts approximately around 25 to around a month, depending on the humidity. Summer times it's less, it's around 15 to 18 odd days. So the water, it has a small submersible pump, which pumps in water according to the controller. It takes in the humidity level and the outside temperature, and then pumps in periodically. Usually it pumps in lesser number of times during the night and more number of times during the day. We have also programmed it between the summer and winter times, where summer the frequency is a little more and winter it is less, according to the plant's needs. And we have had tremendous success on this product. More so for our Terminal 2 in Bangalore, they have given us a huge order on this. Most of the airports in Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi. Then, of course, we have played a huge part in Africa, where most of these products are actually sold in a very big way. On a commercial front, but on a domestic front, yeah, the balcony holders take this particular part. What's an ideal space for growing? These are some of the recommended parts. For creepers and vines, we have something called a blue bucket, where we tie in rods and where the creepers find its way. These are for tomatoes and cucumbers, zucchini, capsicum, on those varieties. Otherwise, some of the recommended parts, we have something called the friends and foes in this. We usually tell plants which like each other and which do not like each other. So that's pretty important in this particular path. Of course, this is the home-based models. Everything is automated with a certain climate control. I'll just stress a little bit on this chart. This chart indicate, don't catch me by the throat on this, but just to tell you what the difference is. I will take spinach, for example. In a square meter, we can get a yield of around 2 kgs. This approximately around 50 to 55 days on a growth plan, and conventional cycle is around 1 or 2 cycles per year. The same thing which we grow on this is on a 5 kg growth pattern, and half 22 to 25 days. Purely because the germination is kept on a separate tray on a germination room, and then when it reaches a stage where we can transfer it for a full growth cycle, we put it on our NFT and on our tower-based models. And on an average, we can do around 16 cycles per year. So this is the advantage in terms of having, say, around 2 or 3 growth cycles in a year. Cycles in terms of production and the yield, this is far higher than the conventional growth cycle. So I've just taken a rough graph of some of the products which are actually grown on these on this particular path. Fodder has been a big business for us, where we have actually transformed villages. I've worked very closely with NGT, the National Green Tribunal, where we wanted to give a sustainable ecosystem for the tolls, people working around the tolls for sustainable growth for their families there. And there are quite a lot of tolls across the country where it's far away from the city. And for some sort of a living, these guys grow parts where they produce, where they can actually sell it on these tolls for their families to earn an extra bread and butter on this particular part. Some comparison on fodder. I will have to stress, I'll have to read these because this played a very important part in actually transforming the fodder system. For me, the fodder system, a big success has been in Bangladesh, where the Sheikh Hasina herself has been promoting actively on this particular path. And we have done quite a lot of big projects in Africa on fodder system. Fodder grown on grass takes around 60 days. For us on hydroponics, it's a 7-day cycle. 10,000 square feet of land produces roughly around 72,000 kgs of grass. I just need 50 square feet next to a cowshed, which will approximately produce around 365,000 kgs of grass in a year. This has been a huge transformation for us in terms of promoting fodder systems across the globe on this particular path. 50 lakh liters are consumed annually. Water is recycled back into the system through filtration process. So we require only around 36,000 odd liters annually for our 50 kg machine. It requires tillage, land overturn, plowing, labor, nothing. This comes like a cake. And as our parents and grandparents have always told us, the nutrients, the actual goodness of produce lay on the roots of the plant. And since there is no soil, the cattle, the feed is they actually eat that particular part. So both in terms of the fat and the milk content, it's proven far superior compared to the conventional land part. Absolutely no soil contamination. Here there is no harvesting, transportation. It comes like a cake. And in terms of production costs, it's hardly 3 or 5 rupees. And these guys sell each of our fodder cakes on an average between 35 to around 50 rupees. So this has been a huge game changer on this particular path. So some of our systems of how it looks. So I won't be reading this. I will send this. These are some of the advantages and technical advantages on this particular path. I used to give milking machines attached to the fodder systems for the government. This was under the Prime Minister's agricultural programs, We have added this as a benefit for these poor farmers who have around cattle of around 4 to 5 systems. That's it. This is another system. I will just talk about one case study, which is interesting. This is my presentation. This is the end of my presentation. What I wanted to talk about, one small case study, is what happened in Kazakhstan. To end this note, in Kazakhstan, the ministry had actually approached me to consult for their government, for their country, because they used to import these herbs and vegetables from the Gulf, from Dubai and Saudi Arabia. And they asked me to come in and say, why can't we do? They have extreme cold conditions during the night, and it is hot and humid during the day. And ideally, for the kind of plants which we grow, we require a temperature between, say, around 23 to around 30, 32 degrees. And in Kazakhstan, the temperatures were dipping below -14 and -18 degrees, and during the day it will touch 45 and 50. I usually like to take challenges, but then I thought this is going to be a big failure. And we went to a small city around 200 kilometers away from Almaty. And as we were driving through, we saw huge industrial sheds left by the Soviets, by the Russians. And next to an agricultural college, one of the deans, I had asked one of the deans to give me one small of these hangars, these kind of industrial sheds, typical like your aircraft hangars, and asked them, why don't we actually try to grow something on this particular path, not knowing how to withstand these huge temperatures, differences of temperatures where no plants actually grow. So what we had done there, I'd taken my tower. I usually take one of my towers and one of my easy grow systems for most of these lectures across the globe. Taken this and I told them, why don't we try growing this particular path where we taken the cold water which comes in during the night. That means to dig a pit in these industrial sheds where the temperature is cool, and during the daytime run it as misters and cool the temperature. We got a fair degree of temperature reduction of around 6 to around 12 degrees odd. And we could grow hardy plants, not the exotic ones, which require, we could not grow strawberries. Strawberries was a big failure, but others like kale and orugulas and Swiss chards and our ordinary palaks and methis were growing beautifully, where we took the nature's control. We took the temperature which was cold during the night, and then with sprinklers, and then I had these huge industrial fans blowing to circulate the fan in such a way that the temperature was evenly distributed across. To some part, because I was there only for 3 days, and for a crop cycle to grow, it takes around 45 days. I packed my bags and came back, and as forgetful as I am, I forgot to give them nutrients. And I said, I will, once I reached Bangalore, I told them, let me send you a packet of my nutrients. This was, I think, around 6 to 8 days later when I realized there was a silence from their part, and they realized, I realized that there were no nutrients, wondering how it will actually grow. And I told them I will send a packet of nutrients which should last you for a year, and if you like it, and then you can reorder from us. Then he said, sir, we don't require this nutrients. I said, why? I said the hot springs, which was on besides these places, was a natural nutrient for these plants. So this was one of my successes. And next day we were all over the newspaper in that country as a miracle part, but it was not a miracle part. It was nature proving it can actually survive in these harshest conditions too. In that, I'll end this note, a short note. If any questions you have, you can actually start. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dr. Sunil.
Hi, BK.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, the session is open for discussion. Another 5 to 10 minutes, sir will be with us. So if you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself or put it in the chat box. Sunil, from my end, has certain doubts and clarification from your end. In case if I want to install one demo unit in my department, how much it will cost?
So we have 3 models. I've done this in Christ College. If you would like to go and see what I've done in Christ College, we have done that. Christ College with I think they had tie up with Stanford and they wanted to do a research on the products. So we have done a full setup for them. When I say a full setup, I won't ask you to buy one setup because my one A angle will suffice for one type of plants or a genre of crops. So usually I will give you a set, say take one ANFT pipe, A angle, take one creeper, blue buckets. So what it goes is you have to come back to me and say, Sunil, I have this area. You know, if you give me the small area, I will tell you, or I will tell you individually, this A angle will cost you so much. These blue buckets of this will cost you so much. The tower-based model will cost you so much. That is the first part. The second part is you have to have a greenhouse or a polyhouse. You have to have some sort of a mister and arrangement. It's a total ecosystem. So usually I've done demos for NABARD and across the country for most of these people. What we do is we do a small, say, around 1,000 square feet or a 500 square feet area. And accordingly, we will put these 4 or 5 products in. So people can actually try and play around with these kind of products. Yes.
My intention was, you know what, this is one area which demands a lot of research inputs and
Yes.
Implementation, real-time implementation. So my intention was, in case if I keep one demo piece in my department and if students start to see on with it, and if they develop some kind of orientation to take up that as their project or that as their research or that as a startup as people are doing. So I think
Yes.
it would make them to involve in this kind of hydroponic ventures. So if that is the case, a small demo kind with the 10 or 20 plants, if I keep it in my lab, right, I thought it will trigger several young minds.
So what I will do, BK, offline, I will send you all my products. I will send you around a list of all the products. You go through the products, whichever you feel, and the price list will be beside them. So you can choose whatever fits your bill, and then from there you can take it forward.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
so that I will share it with you.
Yeah, and in case if any of the students want to do some kind of internship or research-oriented training at your firm, are you open for it?
Yes, we take a lot of students. Right now we are running projects in Bangladesh. We are doing it in Zimbabwe. We are doing it in Gantot in Dubai. So
not in India, not in Bangalore.
Bangalore, as of now, I haven't got. I'm doing one with the Jindals in Bombay. So Bangalore, as of now, nothing.
Can we initiate it?
100%.
Yeah, because we need to promote it because this is this seems to be the future of our this thing country, because we need a lot of order food and other kind of things, and but unfortunately we don't have much agricultural land.
Correct.
So I think we have to go for it, and we have to popularize it in the new minds so that they can come forward and they can feed the hungry people. So in that way, it will be right, in case if you can support us in initiating some kind of projects or joint ventures or internship to our students of VTU and other affiliated colleges. So it will be of great help.
Absolutely. No, I'm in open arms for this.
Yes.
I'm all yours. You can
Thank you,
exploit
sir.
me, utilize me to the maximum on this particular path.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, 100%.
Any questions from the audience side? There is a question posted in the chat box.
I saw that. Can you list?
Yes.
Can you also let us know about the fodder for cows and goats, list of crops that which can be cultivated in hydroponics and also highlighted with the series of issues? I think there are two questions, or I don't know whether it is one question. Okay, what kind of fodder can be grown? It's a basic corn and stuff what the goats and the cows eat. So I have a whole list on that particular path. What can be grown? I can send you a huge list. Again, I'm very closely working with Sam Petroda on this, where we consume roughly between 16 to 30 odd herbs. There are 16,000 herbs still in the market yet to be exploited. So we are trying to actually promote a lot of products on the wellness side. So I will send you a list on that particular part. There's someone who wanted to ask a question. Asumana. Dr. Asumana? I can't hear you.
Ma'am, you can unmute or you can post the question in your chat box. Yes, first session also you are unable to talk to the speaker. So you can, in case if any network issue, you can post it. Yeah, you are audible.
We can hear.
Now, is it audible?
Yes, it is.
Sir, good morning, sir. I am Sumana, Dr. Sumana from College of Horticulture. We are also having some hydroponic units. May I know the different kinds of seeds which can be grown and the yield from one tray, sir? See, one tray, if we sow the maize seeds, how many days and how many kgs of green fodder will be available, sir? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, we do. So my simple 50 kg system, when I say a 50 kg system, every 7 days you will get 50 kgs of produce. That means on the first day, when you actually grow, when you start your germination part on this, on the 7th day, you will have a 1 foot grown straw of that particular fodder which comes out on that path. So it's a 7-day cycle which we have done, Asuma.
That means 50 kgs you are getting, sir?
Yeah, we have a 50 kg system, we have a 100 kg system, we have a 1000 kg system. It depends on what your requirement is.
Okay. Size of the tray, sir?
Our 50 kg system is roughly around 36,000 rupees. But we do anywhere across the country, we install it also in this 36,000 rupees.
Hello.
It is 36,000 rupees, ma'am. Can you hear me? Hello? No, we don't sell trays. We don't sell separate trays.
Hello?
Ma'am, we don't sell separate trays. We sell the whole unit.
Sir, in one tray or one... Okay. What is the exact system?
Hello?
Okay. One unit is 50 kg, you mean? See, the unit means it might be 50 or 100 or 200. Is that so? Hello? Hello?
Hello, I can't hear you, ma'am.
There's a network problem. I mean, one unit means maybe it is 50 kg, 100 kg, 200. Is it so?
Yeah. Correct. So our 50 kg system will have a set of trays which we push from one side. So every day we push the tray inside. Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, sir. Hello?
Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, I'm listening. Please carry on, sir. I'm able to hear you.
Roughly, what we do is around we push every day 4 trays inside.
Okay.
From one side, we push 4 trays. Each tray we put roughly around 2.5 to 3 kgs of sprouted seeds.
Okay, it is pre-soaked, sir.
Yeah, it is pre-soaked.
Pre-germinated.
Usually farmers use gunny bags and put it in a dark room with some sort of a nutrient for 1 or 2 days, and then take that and then put it on these trays.
Okay. So in 1 week, you'll be getting how much like unit wise?
Yes,
from
you'll
each
get 50
tray,
kgs.
1 kg you get, sir?
We'll get 50 kgs. Our smallest system is 50 kgs.
Okay. 1 tray is 1 kg, sir, or it will differ?
No. 1 tray, we put roughly around 2.5 to 3 kgs per tray, ma'am.
Okay.
Of sprouted seeds.
Pre-germinated. Okay, 2.5 to 3 kgs, sir.
Yes, of regerminated seeds.
You're
Yes.
always using maize or any other seeds?
We use lots. We use maize, sorghum, barley, corn. We use quite a lot of these things. It depends again what the feed is, whether the cattle wants milk content more, fat content more. It depends.
Okay. So 1 kg means you will be getting what is the yield, sir?
Meaning, I don't know.
7
it is
kg
6 to 7 times. So roughly around, say, if it is 3 kg per tray, it is say around 7 to 8 kgs odd. So 2.5. See, if you're talking of 2.5 kg per tray, 3 kgs, you'll get roughly around 8 to 9 kgs of full grown feed.
Okay. What is the height of that fodder, sir? 1 feet.
It's
so
around little less than a feet, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when you tell the farmers,
I'll send you all, ma'am. I will send you my mobile number is there. I will send you a full booklet of the entire fodder system to you.
Please, to my email.
You can ask me as many questions in that particular part.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
I'll be giving you the email ID. Please send it. Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, we do have another question in relation to the previous question. Sir, we have tried with corn in hydroponics, but we have seen yellow coloration of the leaves. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Well, what is it? What is it? Tell me.
Sir, we have tried with corn in hydroponics, but we have seen yellow coloration of the leaves. Is there any particular reason behind this?
See, there could be many reasons for yellow coloration. It could be because of the nutrient part also. So, hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
Hello? Yeah. See, have you all, it must be because of moisture stress also. If you have a lot of moisture, we have an issue on that particular part. See, there is a problem in both overwatering and underwatering on root. This causes root rot. So if you have the right amount of moisture, you will not have this particular issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Moisture stress is very important on discoloration of leaves.
Thank you, Sunil.
Any other questions, please?
I hope that's all for the session. What you can do, you can share me that brochure, whatever you are telling, so that I'll put it in the group, so that they will go through it and they'll get back to you. So that will help us in understanding the concept and popularizing it.
Done. The main presentation is sent to you to Selma. I will also send the fodder system presentation also to Selma. You all can share it among the group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can send me that this unit list also.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you right now. It's on its way. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. And
any other questions?
I hope
pleasure. It is mine.
Yes. And thank you very much for accepting our invitation and
Hello.
highlighting the issue. And we'll be thankful, and we'll hope the audience got good amount of knowledge from Dr. Sunil, and hope we will continue our interaction with Sunil for forthcoming phases also, and look forward for the joint collaboration also. Thank you, Sunil, on behalf of organizing committee and on behalf of Oxford College of Engineering. I express my great to you for accepting our invitation and presenting the lecture. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.